Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be talking about a major snowstorm that will be heading up through the northeast and could be causing very damaging ice and some damaging snow, but not as damaging as the ice. But before we get into that, make sure to check out my Discord, subscribe, that means a lot to me, also help me catch that algorithm so I can keep on growing on YouTube, and share this with your friends and family so they can get informed on the weather too. Let's go ahead and move on to the site here. Boom. Okay, tropical tidbits. So, as we can already see here, 7 p.m. right at the time of recording is 8:30 p.m. So this is an hour 30 minutes ago. We were still getting snow an hour and 30 minutes ago, but we are not getting that anymore, and that has all passed and is going up the northeast, and that is what we'll be talking about. And a possible snowstorm on Friday the 20th, which could be causing a good bit of snow for some areas in the east and southeast and northeast. Now, as we can already see, I've outlined the way this system is moving up to the northeast, of course. Let's go ahead and move out to not closer to now, but a little bit farther out. By 1 a.m. on January 17th, 1 a.m. Monday, Martin Luther King Day. Happy Martin Luther King Day, everyone. And we can see a good bit of snow here. But the main thing I was concerned about was the lingering snow down here. This has caused a good bit of damage. It was a little bit less than expected, but still, nonetheless, 88,000, 90,000 power outages in North Carolina. They are the hardest hit so far. And there are some more accidents still on the way as we go into tomorrow morning. That will be one of the most dangerous times for black ice on the roads. Now, plows have gone through and cleared out the roadways as best as they can, but there will still be patches of snow and ice. Now, as we can already see, very heavy snow for Lake Erie here. I'm pretty sure Lake Erie there. Pretty heavy snow. That could be collaborating with some lake effect snow, causing very heavy snow amounts there. A very strong storm, 965 millibars, which is very strong. And this will be heading up until it moves into Canada and then expands and then eventually dies out. But nonetheless, we can still see snow for the northeast. Pretty heavy accumulating amounts. You can see another 6 hours there. Very heavy on Lake Erie, the border between United States and Canada. And of course, a little bit of rain for the closer to the coast areas. New York, you won't be seeing much snow, maybe a little bit of snow after, but we'll see when the time comes. We can see here probably this area getting the most snow amounts here. And it was a disappointment here with the predictions, because the predictions were very far off on the snow amounts there. Actually, throughout a good bit here, the snow amounts were pretty far off. But we can still see the snow amounts to be predicted, so we'll see what happens with those. And we can see some ice and rain mixing in here for the farther north areas. Another 6 hours, the storm starts to move out, starts to expand a little, starts to become less defined. 977, I'm guessing there, you can barely see it, but 977, we can see the cold air swooping down here, because since the low pressure is spinning this way, right? The low pressure is spinning this way. We can see it bringing the warm air up, right? And dragging this cold air down here to the lower areas, and could become very cold. Lows, 19s, 20s, teens, maybe even single digits we could be seeing, which is very crazy. Negatives, probably. Wind chills, also negatives. Very windy, also, near here. Very windy, 50-mile-an-hour winds just off the coast. But if we move it out another 6 hours, really light snow for this area. Not much snow, but we do still see snow showers nonetheless. And that could cause some hazards. But the northeast, is a little bit more used to it than the farther south regions. That's why it's such a different storm. We can see a clipper system coming out here. down, but we're gonna go ahead and move out to the January snowstorm here. So this has been talked about here. So this has been talked about a little bit. We can see very far south snow, which is very unusual. Mid Texas could be getting a good bit of snow as this storm moves across, and could be causing a good bit of snow again. Kind of a storm like this one, just a little bit less, what the model is saying, a little bit less catastrophic, as they would say. Catastrophic because this storm was very rare and doesn't happen often, so it is catastrophic for some regions because of the ice amounts, especially in South Carolina. That was pretty devastating. But we can see pretty good snow amounts could be accumulating here through this area. Pretty good snow amounts. As we move it out, we can see the snow moving up and then out, especially when it becomes a full-blown nor'easter and creates a bunch of problems here. Very heavy snow. We can see how dark that shade of blue is, which is indicating very heavy snow. It is intruding on the land a little bit, so that means some of you guys, especially near Cape Cod, could be getting a good bit of rain as you're stretching out off the main coastline and getting some of that rain. Very windy, and this is when we are seeing pretty cold temperatures because of how strong it was. Its rotation's even stronger and brings down even more cold air from Canada. Now, as we move out to the end of the model, there are a few clipper systems that try to make it nor'easters. They don't really succeed. And as we're getting to the end of the model, there's a possible snowstorm there, but that's very far out, and we'll see what happens. Take these snowstorms with a grain of salt. They're pretty far out, but we'll see what happens. Let's go ahead and actually go back to the January storm there, January 22nd here. Still pretty far out for what we are looking at around how many hours? 156 hours, which is a good bit out. But let's go ahead and look at the NAM 12 kilometer and see what this snowstorm is. This snowstorm. Let's see what this snowstorm is going to do for the rest of its time here. It's not, the NAM 12 kilometer expects pretty big snow, but something different we see here is a big line of rain and ice here moving up, causing some snow accumulations to lessen because of the rain and the ice packing down the snow. As it moves out, though, mainly powdery snow because of how cold the temperatures are, and the low pressure moves out, leaving a bit of snow left behind. And this clipper system moves along, brings some snow, and then causes this little cold front here to move along, and then here is a snowstorm that will be going south and then up. Could be something like the one we have had recently, which would be pretty rare. Let's go ahead and move out to the ECMWF model. Practiced on observations. Let's go ahead and go to ECMWF high res, and we can see here already showing in the past the rain, ice, snow, and freezing rain. But let's go ahead and move it out to nearly the present here. This is probably the present here, pretty close to it at least. And we can see here, big chunk of snow here. A little bit less snow for Virginia right here than they expected because of all the ice and possibility of rain going through. But we can see here, it starts moving on pretty heavy snow. This is different than the NAM 32 kilometer because we can see here, they thought it was going to be a little bit of rain and ice, but as we can clearly see, it's just very heavy snow. So maybe we can see it accidentally doing that. Accidentally the model mixing it up. But nonetheless, we can see very heavy snow heading towards Lake Erie. If you live by there, that could be very heavy accumulations. And as the storm moves out, let's go and go to where it moves out. Very heavy snow for Canada, and it moves off the coast. And we can see the clipper system comes down to Lake Erie and causes a little bit of snow. And then this is where it forms the cold front here. And this cold front will be causing, of course, colder temperatures. As we can tell, the cold front is because we can see the 540 line right after this rain line here, which indicates it's probably a cold front. As it moves out, it gets cold, but the way this is set up, this storm over here goes down right in between these high pressures, goes down, goes south, and then is forced up here, and then becomes a nor'easter more this way, becomes a nor'easter, and causes pretty big snow mounds, just like this one. Could be pretty big snow mounds stretching from this area. Pretty large snow mounds. Now, as we go ahead and move it to when the storm comes, we can see it's moving across here, and it leaves a little bit behind as it starts to move across, right? Let's go and move it out a little bit more. Yeah, we can see that little bit of moisture left behind as the Clipper system was moving off. We can see the little bit of moisture will be coming down here, picking up the Gulf moisture or stream, and then coming up here and causing some pretty high ice and snow amounts, some rain amounts for some areas. And as we can see, snowstorms can cause severe weather, as we saw with the Florida tornadoes today, which was very, unexpected, but there was an expected chance for some severe weather, so I guess it wasn't that far out of the question. We can see here the ECMWF is much different as the storm dissipates off when it goes into Mexico. It goes a little bit further south and it gets caught there, and it cannot make it up here to cause snow. That was a very small circle to cause snow for this area, which, models are different. And then as we can see, still a little bit of snow either way, but this is too far out, so take it with a grain of salt. But that's really it for today's video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Make sure to check out my Discord link in the description. Subscribe, like, and share this with your family and friends. Helps me out a ton, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.